All right, crypto fam. Yo, 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 as CJDV is saying. How is everyone doing? Are we feeling good on a Friday evening? I actually just woke up from a nap, so I feel so good. I feel so refreshed. What is up? What is up? Guys, are you ready to absolutely get this live popped off today? Seems like we're coming at the right time here. Bitcoin is about to be overbought on the 1 hour again. We had a bit of a drop. Let me get the particulars situated here, and we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling, all right? We had a really successful week with our channel. And now we are going to get this live popping off again. I need all of you smashing that like button tonight, okay? We are going hard tonight. Hard in the paint with the trades, hard in the paint with Bitcoin. I've had enough time to analyze everything, and I'm 90% sure I know where Bitcoin is going. There's always 10% where we can't control the market. But I'm having an absolute blast with you guys, and I can't get this thing underway. So what is up? Steven, how we doing? Tim, how we doing? It is Friday evening. Markets are closed. We got a thumbnail today that I believe is good for the potential crash. All right, this has kind of lined it up here. 95. I know we didn't hit 95, but you get the point. All right, so we got a real nice thumbnail here. We can see that the market is about to come down again. Tokyo is not a thing right now because it is a weekend. The stock market is not a thing. Normal traders, manipulation is coming into effect in the market, okay? So, Tim, how you doing today, brother? Shouldn't you be taking the wife on a date night instead of... I'm kidding. No, stay on the live. If any of you have a date with your girl or your husband, all right, you say, look, I got to put the live on. I will attend to you in 5 minutes. Josh is going to make us money for a dinner or a honeymoon. I'll even pause it. Respect. Respect, all right? Actually, don't listen to me. I don't have the best track record in the dating realm at the moment. But guys, I'm pretty hyped. And the reason I'm hyped is because the drop hasn't even happened yet. The drop hasn't even happened yet. But we can't rush things, right? So ideally, we can see the MACD is about to cross into the zero line right here, okay? Before we get things started, guys, I need everybody opening a separate window on Twitch right now, logging in, okay? Because we want to appeal to every single audience, not just YouTube, not just Twitch, and not just X. We are live on X. Okay, we are live on X. We called a BTC short last night. Boom, it is playing out. Make sure you guys are following Beast X Bitcoin. Man, you okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in the description in a moment here. Is anyone any trades? Any trades at the moment, guys? Okay, and we're also live on Rumble. So the same thing, guys. I need silent windows. Rumble's a bit. And then open it on a silent window, and it should be... All right, so 3 lives. Okay, I posted the 3 lives, open them on a separate window and keep YouTube or Twitch live. I appreciate you guys, and just talk on one of them. It does mean a lot, and it does help us trend all over the platform. So the market dropped from our wedge. Now we kind of got to go back to a few things here. Yes, you could call this a crash. Yes, you could call this market close, no volume, whatever you want to call it. But here was our short. I originally thought we were going to pump out of this. We didn't, because I seen the 1 hour rejecting. So we flipped to a short on the live. First of all, if you made money on the live last night, shorting all the way down to this level, let me hear it in the comments section below. Now Bitcoin is a bit weird. And the reason Bitcoin is a bit weird is because of this. Welcome to everybody on the live. Kurt Dog, how you doing? Rubber 1503. Ethan, a Bitcoin short. GPXRP and Mew. Link. All right, perfect. Bro, I'm in the living room with one AirPod. Perfect. Sinster, I got a nice short on BTC last night. Let's go. Okay. So here's my thesis at the moment. All right. So I'm not going to delete every channel because I spent a lot of time making these trend lines correct, but I do want to delete this area right here because we did drop, and what we're doing is we're consolidating at a volume node. Right here, okay? So we are consolidating at a volume node. Now, what you're going to see is Bitcoin is got flat momentum. We are coming back inside the channel. That is not what we want to see, because typically when we drop, we're going to retrace the channel and then continue down. We did not do that, but we are rejecting at a fair value gap here. So what that means is we've got some sideways momentum. We are starting to drop. The reason we haven't dropped yet, if you look at the 1 hour time frame, our 1 hour has been going up, and you could pretty much see with the 1 hour going up, we've been completely flat. Okay, completely flat. Here's my trend on the 1 hour. I don't see it breaking it. I see it reversing right here. So you can see here. I'm going to try to not draw too much Crayola markers everywhere. All right. But essentially reject. So many rejections. So it should roll over right here. We look at our 4 hour time frame, and the 4 hour broke trend long time ago on Bitcoin. So if the 4 hour broke trend, you've got this much more room to go down. If you look at your 2 hour time frame, it hasn't hit the bottom yet. If you look at your 3 hour time frame, hasn't hit the bottom yet. So Bitcoin is hanging on by a thread at this volume node, which isn't a bad area to take profit. However, it is almost overbought, which means the next wave of the drop will be coming down within the next 24 hours here. Even probably within Saturday during the day. I'm just really waiting for this 1 hour to finish being overbought. Okay. Now, if we go to our 18 hour here, we are absolutely dropping. Absolutely. Our momentum indicators are spread apart, dropping, right? If we go to the daily, we are just coming down. Okay, guys, keep this in mind. You're not trading on the daily in most cases, but this has so much potential to bring Bitcoin down to levels of 76K, 70K, whatever it is. We just need to break this main trend. So I'm about protecting my capital and making money. I will not let the market take my money back. Okay. I do see an opportunity to take profit here on a short, or if you're not in a short and you take profit already, I do see an opportunity here to take profit at about 85.4. 85.4 would be a really, really good area to take profit. However, now if you look at the 3-day, is still in the MACD, in the 0 line, and the 3-day is coming up a bit, but your blue K line is curved down, which is essentially a drop. But nothing is really going to happen at this moment until that 1 hour is overbought. And you can kind of see that right here, right? If that 4 hour is not oversold, if that 4 hours crossed over and you've got your red histograms and you break below your 0 line, I would not be longing anything, at least not Bitcoin, okay? So that is my trajectory on Bitcoin right there. No volume, it is going to range, but a good take profit would be this trend line. And then maybe we continue on with the bear flag or bear flag. Because what a bear flag normally does is it doesn't drop right away. It ranges like this. Now, here's my thesis, guys. I do believe we are going to 76K. I do. But we haven't hit the side of the macro channel. Okay? So there's a possibility. Now, I would love to drop to 77 to 74K, whatever it is. But after we hit this trend line, there's a possibility we go back up and we go down and we go sideways until we hit either here, here, or here, somewhere in this zone, 90, probably 94, 95. Okay? And then that possibility is sideways action all the way through December until we hit it and come down. Because yes, we are going to drop, but I'm not convinced we're going to break 85.5 only because I know how a bear flag works. If you search up a bear flag on the daily, now it could absolutely just drop, which is completely fine. But this is what a bear flag looks like. There is normally 3 waves of consolidation in a bear flag. So if we know there's 3 waves of consolidation in a bear flag and 3 waves of consolidation in a bearish pennant, then there is maybe going to be one more recovery at the bottom here. Range, sideways, 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 pump, and they go sideways until we hit the top. So that is what I'm looking at as of right now. But of course, the 1 hour is overbought. So the 1 hour is going to continue back down. And we typically will come back down to this area to form a higher low, which in the macro would actually be an uptrend. The funny thing is, if you really analyze the market, Bitcoin's in a massive downtrend and in an uptrend. Because you've got a higher low right here, but you've got resistance right here. This is very, very key because this is going to take everybody out of their emotions if you see it that way. 85, whatever it is my target to take profit on my short. Yes, I do think we're going to go to 76. But we're very, very oversold on lower time frames right now to just all the way capitulate down to 75K. That could happen, and we are in a downtrend market, but that is another scenario that we got to keep in mind to protect our capital and take the most profit. And for those of you that want to long, that could be an opportunity to long as well, okay? So I think I've made this very, very clear and where I stand on that. Bear flags just don't dump. They consolidate. 85.5 is my take profit on everything, and I will evaluate after that. Weekend trap locks BTC in until usually early evening Sunday. Yep. Exactly. Slow bleed of sideways momentum on BTC at the moment. Again, we're waiting till it's overbought in the 1 hour. I've seen BTC crash on a Saturday many times. I'm just not convinced on the drop right away. Now the daily, of course, the daily is overbought, so that could override it, but for a massive bear flag like that, guys, consolidation is normally needed. All right. So XRP is giving me weird vibes because we've got this macro parallel channel. Did anyone, Tim, smash the like button? I appreciate you. Did anyone see that movie on Netflix, The Smashing Machine with The Rock? That might have been one of the best movies I've seen The Rock do that isn't really from Hollywood. Actually, it was on Prime. It was on Amazon Prime. Okay, so I don't see XRP dropping yet. Until this market is weird and it does not make sense to me in a way because it would make sense to push up to that previous resistance and high, and it hasn't done that. So it looks like XRP could possibly double bottom here, which I'm not saying here, I mean down here. We are breaking the trend on XRP at the moment. GP long XRP 2117, 217 stop loss, 197 stop loss. Okay. Yeah, not too bad, brother. XRP did break trend. It is in a downtrend, but we can see it go sideways until it hits the top. But it definitely did break the trend. So I am looking at a potential double bottom at around 182. And again, guys, non-financial advice. Don't get out of your trades because I look at TA. Look at what you think is the best for you and your capital. But it definitely did break trend. It isn't dropping, but it did break trend. And again, the reason it's not dropping is we actually have a lot of volume in this region. Puffer is about to be done. What is Puffer? Like, too many coins. So essentially, I'm going to set an alert here on XRP. I'll see bullish divergence in this area. XRP is a weird one at the moment. We did definitely break trend on XRP for sure. Puffer, okay. Okay, what is Puffer doing? We've got okay, it is kind of breaking out. Okay, so Puffer is breaking out in a way. I would say that this is probably going to be the top. I imagine you looked at the RSI heat map for this one. We've got a macro downtrend here. So I would say Puffer can pump to about 13. Or at least it is definitely trying. Not too bad, not too bad at all. I would wait for it to cool down, but it is looking like it will definitely be getting ready for a short. So what do you guys think? We are going to bounce at 85.4 or 85. Does my scenario make sense? Look, I would love to crash at 76. If we crash to 76, let's go. Let's absolutely go. Because that's going to be good. But we haven't hit the top of that check. We could potentially just double bottom here too. We don't have to hit the top of the channel in a downtrend. I'm just surprised that it makes sense why we're not completely dumping. Count me on to find strange stuff. Let's go. Since they're always coming in with the red hot calls. Okay, someone said, I think GP says something about Mew. That's brutal. That was a beautiful pennant. This is why I'm not longing anything, guys, because there is no bullish scenario in the market. But I will say, keep an eye on Mew because it could come down to here and bounce up, or it could come all the way down to here. You know what coin that I've been watching? I'm going to set an alert here. It's Bonk. I don't know why I've been watching Bonk. My alert is going to be 0000949. Guys, I don't know why Bonk, but something is telling me that Bonk is absolutely going to dump. I have no thesis for anything other than this is a massive bear flag on the bear pennant on the daily. And Bonk is very, very overbought, and we're kind of just waiting for Bitcoin to make a move. Essentially, I don't know why. I don't know why. I looked at Bonk. There was really no reason. But essentially, if you break out from here, again, you're consolidating one wave, two wave, maybe three wave, and then down. But look at how much Bonk can drop to chase that wick if Bitcoin does potentially dump all the way down to 74 to 76K. A lot. So now what I'm doing is I'm lining up shorts, and I want to find the top shorts that are going to pay me a lot of money just by putting in little money, right? We're doing this challenge in the back end, guys, and what I've noticed is you got to go for the 1 to 5s to make it make sense, to make it entertaining, essentially. There is, so I also was looking at SUI here too as well. So again, SUI faked out. We should have hypothetically pumped up to here. We did not. Now, SUI is about to hit the trend line. This is technically an uptrend, which means that SUI should potentially bounce right here. We're in a downtrend market though. So it looks like we triple bottom. There's a golden cross coming up on SUI as well. The daily is very overbought. We need to flatten out. We could, if we break this, guys, we come all the way down to here. Like I said, a lot of these altcoins are going to go and chase the wicks. Everything is just waiting for Bitcoin. And I'm telling you, range upon range upon range, okay? I've got my monthly Bitcoin price prediction coming out tonight. So make sure you guys are locked into that. Make sure you watch the video after the live. Here's what I want you guys to do. Draw an RSI trend and follow it. If it breaks it, it could be a fake out, but 99.9% it is going to drop. So you can see that rejection there. All right, CoinGecko. Someone mentioned Luna Classic the other day pumping. So whoever gave the signal the other night, shout out to you. I definitely did not see this coming. That is a crazy pump on Luna Classic. That will be a crazy drop on Luna Classic as well. We've got resistance right here. It faked out with a tweezer reversal. We have the trend break. Wow. The trend broke. Luna Classic is going to be a dynamite short. Fast Easy, what is up? Dynamite short, guys. Look at this. Dynamite. Not yet, though. Not yet. I would wait for this 15-minute to be overbought. But whoever called this pump 2 nights ago or even last night, you crushed it. This was bang on. I just want Bitcoin to drop, drop, drop. Got to keep an eye on Luna Classic. I want to see if it's going to come back up here in that 15. You want to find these scam pumps in the market. You shouldn't be trying to ride the pumps. You should be looking for the top because they are scam pumps, right? We can see it faked out right here into the bearish pennant and now potentially coming back down. Okay, so I'm going to keep an eye on Luna Classic. If you are looking for coins to look at, Orca. Okay, let's see what Orca is doing. Orca's on a bit of an uptrend right now. If this market wasn't in a downtrend, I would be spotting this all day. Like, Orca potentially. So it hit the top. It does need to come back to the bottom, but we are in a pretty big uptrend on Orca. Not that it means anything. Uptrends mean nothing right now. Breakouts mean nothing. Total 3 broke out and faked everyone out. Boom, bada boom. So it's looking pretty good. Obviously, I'd maybe be looking for a short here, but these coins are just so risky to trade right now. But yeah, this typically would be a short for me in this area. Well, no, never mind. It wouldn't be a short. No, it wouldn't be a short. This actually could pump a lot. Orca's oversold in the 4-hour. All right, so let's find some levels here to look at a couple of coins. Pax G is, let me look at Zcash. ZEC, I believe, hit the downtrend last night. Yeah, it hit the downtrend perfectly. Oh, it's going to be a beautiful short here on Zcash. Look at that right there. Right there, guys. Boom. Hit the downtrend. So now we're in a continuation to the downside. So essentially what I'm going to do on Zcash now, I'm going to wait for the 1 hour to be overbought. And you can see the downtrends right there. It pretty much is respecting the downtrend perfectly. So as long as Zcash doesn't break out, this is going to dump pretty hard back down. I would even try to it's tough for me to say get in a long when it's oversold, so I would wait till it's overbought, but maybe even right here, 360. Definitely following a real nice downtrend off of the break of that channel. That would have been a real nice short right there, 375. Hopefully there's a bit of a scam pump to about 376 because that would be a good short. How about Turbo? Turbo wants to drop so bad, but everything's flat, waiting for Bitcoin. We are waiting for Bitcoin. What do? Turbo's in a bearish pennant. This means that Turbo can dump astronomically. Bitcoin's in a double top. 15-minute is dropping. 1 hour should curve up here, and then we should start coming down. All right, we got a chat for XPin. Sure, why not? Nothing else is really moving. Guys, but I'm telling you, don't sleep on that bonk short. That bonk short is looking really, really good. So X pin. I'll take you to the dog park tomorrow, okay? It's too cold out. Rodney, how you doing, brother? So X pin. Thank you guys for spending your Saturday with me, your Saturday evening. It means a lot. Yeah, so X pin should bounce off of here. The reason being is because we already formed a higher low. This could do some damage. X pin is also in an uptrend at the moment. So we're finding a couple coins that are in an uptrend. The fact is, are they going to play out? You do have some resistance right here, but that is a pretty good move in this region. If you longed it or spotted it, you're looking at 22, 24%. It just matters what Bitcoin is going to do, if this even follows Bitcoin, right? Downtrend, right? So what you're waiting for is you're waiting for your downtrend to break, waiting for the pump, the back test, hopefully not a fake out, and then continue back up. That's a beautiful play on X pin. I would not be shorting it. So I'm going to set an alert right here. I'm even going to set an alert right here because I want to know if it bounces back up to resistance. I might be able to look for a short. Actually, I'm not shorting because it is in an uptrend, right? I don't go against my trend. You've got massive consolidation right here on XPin. Yeah, we're just ranging. ETH or Resolve. Okay, let's check out Resolve. Not much is happening, guys, today. Well, a lot happened today. What am I talking about? A lot happened. I'm holding my short. I haven't taken profit. I haven't done anything. Yeah, this is bouncing off your 618, your Fibonacci golden pocket. Yeah, perfect. Still in a downtrend, but it is looking fairly good. 18 hours looking pretty decent. 4 hour is looking okay. Kind of. Needs to break out of that region right there. Entry on the bonk short. I don't have an entry, just watch it because, yeah, perfect rounded bottom. If it breaks out of the downtrend, it'll definitely take off. So we'll set an alert right here, which will be about 0.9139. It did bounce off the 618, your golden ratio, which can't argue would be perfectly. Like in most cases, if this was a normal market, I'd be buying spot and I'd probably be opening up a leverage position right here along. But if I'm looking for the bonk short, smash up that like button, guys. Let's run up the live. Alejandro, how you doing, brother? So my entry on bonk would be pretty much out of this area right here, which is 0.08489. And then I'm looking on a pretty big drop. If it breaks this area, I'm looking at an extreme drop. All right, so we've got some of the top losers. Athena, APT. Like, what is APT doing? Looks like Saturday we're going to get a bit of a crash, or even tonight throughout the night. Wow, APT is brutal. So APT is doing what bonk is starting to do. Well, bonk, APT already did it. Look at APT. 360, 171. So if you guys want to know where APT can go to, all the way down to 81 cents, guys. 81 cents on APT. Crazy. I don't. This is ludicrous to me. I knew that a lot of these coins were going to chase the wick, but that's essentially what bonk and a lot of other coins are going to be doing, right? They're all going to go chase the wick. So you can find any coin, and well, most of them. Like, let's look at XCC, right? Whatever this. You're pretty much chasing that wick, and a lot of things are starting to break it. Here's on XEC, here's a massive bear pennant, and it is playing out. So if you look at your downtrend, should you start nibbling and bonk short? It's up to you. Non-financial advice, like whatever you think works better for you. I personally am going to wait till it breaks that pennant and back test. Like a lot of these coins are just nothing. Going to nothing. All right, so 4-hour closes in 1 hour here. Bitcoin is hanging on to dear life at this point. Every coin that is trending right now is a stable coin. What about Pump Fund? Pump Fund is also one of the top losers at the current moment. Let's have some fun tonight and make some money possibly. Let's see. I'm going to look at so pump fund is in an 18-hour inverse head and shoulder. You're ranging at the volume node. I don't know. It could pump pretty much here. Risk to reward. But let me look at something else because crypto is doing absolutely nothing. There has to be something that looks good. And this is, we're not going to do this too long. I'm just looking, all right? Boosted. There we go. Xmas Cult. Why do I miss these coins? Because I haven't been on this one for a bit. This would have been one to get into for sure. Not now. Okay, next. Physical limits of intelligence. What I'm essentially doing is, guys, right now is I'm looking for rounded bottoms, right? So non-financial advice, but this is a pattern I would be buying. Is a rounded bottom. And you don't really know anything else on DEX screener. You don't know how high it can pump. But if I take my trend line there, it's a possibility this goes up 225%. Holders, locked liquidity, 186, that's not too bad. I don't know anything about this project, but what I do know is this has a real nice rounded bottom. So it is called Physical Limits of Intelligence. Check it out, guys. If you want to be in the risky spot with trading and you want to test your luck with 50 or 100, non-financial advice, right? And that is pretty much all I would look at. This one looked pretty cool. Franklin the turtle. The market is very slow. So Franklin obviously pumped. I wouldn't look at this one. It's too high. But these DEX screener coins, we're kind of able to see if they're going to pump. And this is kind of where the money is right now. Pump fund also might move as well here too. But keep an eye, guys. When I'm looking at these coins, I'm only looking for a 1x to a 2x, and I'm out. It's not looking too bad. Tim, you said check my text from today. Xmas Soul on DEX screener. Of course, the Xmas coins are pumping at the moment, which makes sense. So pump fund could pump a bit here. Like you could hypothetically, as a scalp trader, scalp this 3%. Poly market too, yeah. Let's take a look at NEAR. So NEAR is very bottom, guys. Like if I look at NEAR on the 3-day, NEAR is decently bottomed here. NEAR just has a massive rounded bottom at this point. which eventually will do something like that. Near is pretty flat and very, very bottomed. I would even, it's tough for me to say look for a long, but I don't think near hit the top of that 4 hour. No, it didn't. It keeps on rejecting the 50 to 60%, which makes sense. We're bearish, but can I check ICP for sure? So I'm in the same boat with ICP as I was before. I can see ICP dropping to 275, but it is moving up here. With Bitcoin ranging, things are obviously going to move up a bit. They're going to come back. ICP is definitely in a downtrend. We could possibly see a scam pump, but we are definitely in a downtrend at the moment. Not really seeing much volume on ICP. The thing I do like is there is a huge golden cross. So I'm going to set an alert here on internet computer and see what happens. Okay, Ethereum. So Ethereum's pretty flat. We are in a downtrend on Ethereum at the moment. And it is about to hit the side of the 1 hour channel. So I want to see what ETH does after this 1 hour candle. But potentially this would be a short for me if we're overbought, which we are. Looks to me that ETH is about to crash and burn here. Do I know why ETH is in a downtrend? So in the macro, we're in an uptrend, but in the smaller time frames, we are definitely in a downtrend. It didn't even hit the resistance. This is the problem I have with the market right now. If you take your trend, your top trend, your daily trend to your top trend, your bottom trend, this hasn't even hit the daily resistance yet. So but it did break the trend here, and you also got a downtrend resistance right here as well. You are in a little bit of a bearish pennant. I don't know. I'm getting mixed signals in the market right now. I wouldn't short ETH definitely until it comes back down or until it rejects this area. We've got 1 more minute left on this candle. I wouldn't trade at all, anything, really at the moment. Now, Bitcoin is literally at the side of the parallel of the downtrend channel here. Pretty close. Here's the thing, though. If you look at the MACD and you look at the lower time frames, we're definitely dropping. So we know Bitcoin's dropping. All it is really doing is ranging. So we might do that consolidation that I was looking at, which side to side, because if you look at the actual downtrend now, you redraw your channel. Here's the scenario, by the way, guys. I don't just like looking at the good scenario for a profit. I like looking at a scapegoat scenario where, okay, sure, we are targeting 85K, but what if it actually bounces here, right? If that is the case, then hypothetically, we could get a pump on Bitcoin to about 91 to 91 or 91 to 90,008 to 9, because now Bitcoin is in around the bottom. Sure, I'm looking at a drop, but sometimes you need to redraw the channel, okay? And here, I'm waiting for the breakout or I'm waiting for the rejection. Literally the moment of truth on Bitcoin. So that 4 hour is going to tell me more information as well too. I wouldn't really try to long this. Waiting BTC back at 91K or 87.5. There you go. Protect your capital, guys. Protect your capital. What is broccoli doing? Recovering? Ranging? See, broccoli came all the way down to here, and it is bouncing off this channel. So there's a possibility we go sideways in the market, and you're going to see some altcoins try and recover. You've got 57 minutes left in this 4 hour close. And you're right there. You're literally right there on a breakout on Bitcoin. Like, in the shorter term, that is. So what I think is going to happen, guys, is it looks like we possibly could break out and pump to the side of the channel here, which is around 91. So keep that in mind. If Bitcoin does come to 91, that should be the top, and then we drop. Otherwise, we range, and we kind of break this range. But if we break out and start pumping, we are going to explode in the shorter term to this, possibly to this area right here, or we just go sideways. Looks like Puffer's going to slide down the fireman's pole. There we go. All right, guys. So not much happening in the market tonight. We're going to keep this live short because it is a weekend live. There you go. You are coming up, and I do need to look at my trades now. So it looks like we could potentially pump to that 91K. Well, we have resistance right here before we go. We have resistance right here, which would be the side of the channel. And then maybe a continuation back down. So there is some resistance right here at around 89.6. But this does look like a little weekend recovery, or not recovery, more like range than anything. And then altcoins essentially come back up, or come back down after. But the way I see it, Bitcoin is absolutely breaking this RSI. So if that is for sure closed after the 1 hour, we get 1 hour here. And if this is closed, I'm out of my short. Or if that breaks out and I'm going to re-enter. That is a key or a clear breakout, right? I just want to see if it is going to reject this area right here and then continue back down. That is what I want to see. All right, fam, I appreciate you guys. I hope everyone has a great night, guys. We're going to cut the live there because it is the weekend. Nothing is really happening in crypto. I just wanted to go over everything with you guys. There will be no live Saturday unless the market is breaking support. I want to have Saturday as my day off from live, so I'm fresh for Sunday. But yeah, unless Bitcoin's breaking support, there will be no live tomorrow. The next live will be Sunday. So you can see we're kind of pumping a bit because we are breaking that 1 hour. And that is exactly what I wanted to look at. So it looks like we are in a weekend recovery mode at the moment. But you still got this side here. And then the resistance at that point would be about 91K, right? All right, guys. Hope everyone has a great live. Set your stop losses and profit, and we will see you guys Sunday night.